I'm joined by TJB, who is on Team Mead Mode for European Silver, also co-creator of the new podcast Bonked, and he also has a blog where he covers all of European awesomeness in UGC Highlander. TJB, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm grand, thank you. I'd just like to say thanks to everyone that sort of watches Bonked or just reads the blog. I mean, it does help quite a bit, and it gives me something to do, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's been really impressive so far, and of course I'll have the links in the video information, so everybody should definitely subscribe and also frequent that blog. So I guess that brings me to my first question: Why have you started pursuing this
Why?
coverage? Yeah.
There was two main reasons. The first one that was not as big as that. I like going through competitive experience. I know quite a few teams, or I know quite a few people. Quite a few people, and it was sort of an idea that I came off with because there was an article on Vanilla TV that I was reading, which Hildreth did,
Right.
and he was saying that there wasn't enough Highlander coverage, and UGC was just starting up, so I was like, I could try and do something, and it's managed to work so far. I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm not feeling like I could do the best I can, but it's what I do, and people seem to like it, so I don't really want to change it that much.
Yeah, yeah. There's a really, really interesting, provocative, I guess, article by Hildreth. What else? Well, I guess that'll be enough. Don't want to give Hildreth too much credit. um, so then, we've seen a lot of coverage, not just within Europe, but UGC Highlander all over has kind of been like exploded with people pursuing stat logs, also doing blogs like yourselves, doing podcasts like myself. Do you have any theory as to why this season is suddenly like the season to watch and keep track of?
I think it's because there's been a lot more publicity, sort of, well, within Europe and North America in general. Like, we want to grow TF2. And the one problem that we have in Europe is that there's so many little communities, and they don't really... There isn't sort of like a really big bond like there is in North America, which is why it's so popular in North America, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And we need to... I'm trying to get sort of all the silver teams to sort of, like, not work together, because there's always going to be sort of disagreements, but just sort of come together as a community and just work and make TF2 another really good esport of sorts.
So then this focus on Highlander, because Europe has UGC Sixes teams, right?
I don't think so anymore.
Oh, okay.
It seems like there might be a few, but it's not known. It's not really known sort of in Europe that there's a Sixes sort of bracket in UGC.
So then why Highlander? What do you think Highlander brings to like this TF2 competitive experience that is really exciting?
I think there's just a lot more sort of creativity that you can do with Highlander instead of Sixes. I mean, you can do the sort of odd off-class, but with Highlander you can do, in my opinion, a lot more strategies. Like, you can work with your team, and there's also a lot more sort of bonding you can do. I mean, I feel like Sixes is really try hard just because of the money stuff in ETF to earn. Highlander has brought that in, but it's not sort of a big deal because it's only just sort of in one bracket, whilst in ETF2 I think it's in about 3 or 4. And I don't know, it's just a lot more fun for me because I get to write about more people, and I like writing, so...
All right, well, great. Let's get into this dirt or nitty-gritty about silver. All right, top 3 silver teams right now. What are they? Who are they?
Oh, this is going to interest a lot of people here.
Are you going to make some enemies right now?
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be quite a few if they listen to this, but I'd say at the moment, like, just looking by the just tables, One Round Wonders, they're not actually up in the top 3 at the moment. All of them are 4th, 5th, and 6th, so they're in the mid-playoff table at the moment. Now that would be One Round Wonders, GFM, and Skills to Pay the Bills, in my opinion, just because, like, One Round Wonders have some really good players, and Skills to Pay the Bills have got a lot of experience, and GFM's sort of got the same different, well, sort of the same things, but sort of binded together, and I feel like they're going to be the strongest this season. Although there probably will be an upset. I don't know what. My predictions always go wrong, like halfway through. Like they'll sort of be okay, and then they'll just drop down again. So it could go anyway.
Oh, definitely. But right now there's like six 2-0 teams right now, so it's very hard. It's early in the season, and like again, you're just getting into this, so I don't blame you
Yeah,
for false predictions.
it's pretty difficult to try and predict against like new teams that
Yeah.
I've come across but don't really know because like people have told me about their stories and I've done team leading before and I know what it's like and you've just got to roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Um, all right, so heard rumors about maybe a silver All-Star game this year?
Yeah, I want to try and get one in because there's a Euro Platinum All-Star
Yeah.
match last season and there was sort of a few more that were going on in North American. Why can't we bring that to Europe? I mean, it's not like the UGC admins like forget about us, but I'd like to sort of make it happen and try and do something that would sort of bring back just all stars and mixes because mixes are really popular in Europe, but they're all quite try hard, and this could just be a good time just to get together and meet a few people and see what could happen.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Europe Silver didn't exist last season. It was,
No, that was because there's about four teams in platinum, and all of them just got moved up because why not? And yeah, I don't see why. I think the platinum should have just been moved down just because there was too many teams that had to play in platinum and had a really tough time of it.
yeah, it was an interesting season. I think. So, do you agree with this creation of the of silver again?
Yeah, they're talking with other team leaders like just before the season started. We checked and we were like, oh, we've entered steel again. Because I think that the team leaders of like the top teams from last season were scared that they were going to get moved up to platinum again. So like hardly any of them just moved up, and and then I checked one day and I was like, why the hell are we in silver? Like, what did our team leader do? And I like messaged everyone like, oh my god, like all of us are in silver, and they looked and we sort of looked and just thought why, and yeah, uh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting just because of the skill level. Like they're all sort of the same, and there's a few that are a bit stronger, a few that are a bit weaker, so they
Hmm.
could do some stuff.
Yeah, and definitely in the coming weeks we'll see the stratification and the separation of those skills. Next Monday or this Monday, I don't know when I'm gonna I don't know when I'm gonna publish this, but Badwater. And now you are a NG main, former NG, but you kind of do everything on Team Mean mode. But I want to talk to you about playing
Yeah.
NG on Badwater.
Badwater. It's one of those maps that I like, but I feel like it's overplayed in everything.
Okay.
It's I like the map. Like you've got different things that you can do, but it's really overplayed in sort of lobbies and mixes, and I like it, but they could do sort of different things. Uh, I'm not one of those engineers that's really creative, but uh, I'd like to do. I like to shake it up a little bit. I mean, I'm not. I don't play like a proper engineer. I probably play like a really fat scout. But it works and it's pretty effective. Uh, I like playing on Badwater, but yeah, it's just overplayed and I don't like it.
All right. Well, agree to disagree.
Mm.
No, I'm kind of sick of Badwater too. Um, so you don't try any crazy wonky things like Eureka effect or
I,
minis on defense.
I'm not a fan of the fan of the Eureka effect, so I don't really like using it. Minis on defense would certainly be an interesting play for
I've seen it
sure.
happen.
It's an interesting play. I'm a big fan of the Jag, so the
Ah,
Jag is
yeah.
like my toy. Obviously, I tried to run level threes on offense just because it can slow sort of a push back in, but I'm I'm sort of just a conventional engineer that uses the one of the wrenches on defense and gunslinger on offense, and we see how it goes just as a team in general.
All right. Well, there's nothing wrong with playing the standard way. It's worked for hundreds of matches,
It has
obviously.
worked, yeah.
All right. Well, that is there anything else you want to tell me about Euro Silver this season?
This season, I don't know. I just hope there's going to be more shocks, so that I can talk to leaders and just like get everything in. Because I like writing this. I'm not doing this for myself or for my own team. I'm doing this for the community. It's nothing like that. I want to like be biased or just do stuff like that. I just want to bring back something to the community that could, well, that could help just grow TF2 in general.
So do you see yourself doing this next season or continuing on with this coverage?
Yeah, I'd like to do it. I mean, I've been offered. Well, I haven't been offered, but people would like me to write at ETF12 next season, and
Nice.
I told one of the UGC admins that, oh, ETF2 already offered me a job, and she was like, no, no, you're going to UGC. You're doing this for UGC. I'm like, okay, I'll see what it's like. Don't worry.
Oh, that's awesome. You're wanted. Um,
Yeah,
that's so great. You're pursuing offers. Anyway, well, that's great. Congratulations, and thanks for all you're doing. That's a lot, and I definitely encourage everyone to check
yeah.
it out. So, any last shout outs or anything you want to say?
Shout out to MC for making this logo, just because I messaged him about 10 minutes before this happened, and he managed to make it quickly, so I owe you one for that. And
Nice.
that's about it. Yeah.
Oh, I get it. The teach. Oh, wow. I didn't. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Second, I second that shout out. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me, TJB of Team Main Mode podcast or Bonked podcast and his blog on Europe Highlander. Thanks so much for joining me, TJB.
No problem.